Aloha, friends. Happy new moon in Sagittarius. The energy feels so good, so good. Yeah, just big shifts. I feel like this was a long time coming. A lot of cycles are completing. Typically cycles will end with the full moon, and the beginning, the new cycles start with the new moon. But what they're telling me is that the soul cycles are coming to an end, which is developing a whole new not cycle, they're saying an evolution of the souls. So something completely different. It's the co-creating with spirit, creating with a higher power, being in your power, and fully stepping into that and stepping into your authenticity. So we're gonna get right into it. Oh, they do want me to point out the card that wanted to be out with us today. So this came out for everyone in general. It is the wings of love. Yes. So delays and obstacles will soon clear. Yes, everything is shifting, right? We're in this space where we're finally freeing ourselves of our past stories, of the things that held us back or kept us from being in our true power, being in our authenticity. And this is the writing of a whole new story and a co-creation with spirit. All right, so I will leave that there. And we have 3 piles for you to choose from today. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. We have pile number 1. I get plenty of rest. I get plenty of rest for pile number 1. Pile number 2 is I make peace with my past. I make peace with my past. Pile number 2. And the final pile for today is my mind is at ease. My mind is at ease for the final pile. All right, so those are your options. Take a moment, maybe close down your eyes, take a nice deep breath, let go of any energy that is stagnant, that needs to just move through you, and choose which pile to start with. Today, I finally got this in my last reading, why they have me doing certain piles first and last and not in the normal 1, 2, 3 order. And I will share this with you. Actually, this just another piece of it just came through. They're saying because as humanity, we've gotten into this energy of having everything has to be okay, they told me slow down. In the energy of the age of like that we just moved out of. We just moved into the age of Aquarius, right? We're just shifting into it. We're going to be shifting into it completely for a few years. And what they're saying is that in this shift, right, that we are finally freeing ourselves from having to do things in an orderly fashion. So, getting rid of the 1, 2, 3 or the coloring inside the lines. I know I've said that a few times on my messages recently. And so they're saying we are moving past that now, and we're going to get into a space where we don't have to do everything in order. We don't have to have everything exactly right. We don't have to be perfect. We can be who we are authentically and do things the way that we want to, and not have to be so structured and And boring, they're telling me. That's funny. And boring. We don't have to be structured and boring anymore. We can open up and be creative and have fun and play and do what's best for us. So with that being said, I'm going to start today with pile number 2. That is what's coming through. So if you chose pile number 2, we'll get started. For everyone else, there will be a link in the description for your pile. We're starting off with pile number 2. Alrighty. Aloha to those of you who chose pile number 2. So you chose make peace with my past. I make peace with my past. Yes, this is such a heart-opening energy. It feels like freedom. It feels like rejoicing. It feels like a blossoming, like a shedding of old layers, a really letting go and trusting, fully trusting that your highest self has your best interest in mind, and that everything that is for you is coming into fruition for you. And so they want me to point out the hummingbirds. So you may have been visited by hummingbirds recently. Hummingbirds typically are come to us as mediums of passed on loved ones. So you may have some passed on loved ones that have been coming through in the form of a hummingbird lately. Pay attention. They're here. Your ancestors are coming through because they want you to know how proud they are of what you've shifted through, what you've grown through, what you've evolved through. It's been a really rough, rocky road, they're telling me, and you've moved through so much. And so they are just so proud of you. I feel so much energy in here right now with me. It's like they are rejoicing, and it feels like if you watched, oh man, I think it was my last new moon reading or possibly full moon, and it was like the ancestors came through. Yes, it's labeled the ancestor message from the ancestors, so you can look into that if you didn't see it. But it feels like this like rejoicing and celebration. It's like like I'm hearing you finally did it. So okay, so let's see what else we have going on for this pile. We're going to start off today with surrender. So what is it that you're surrendering? Surrender the worry. Yes. Give it over to your ancestors. That's why they're here. They're like, you don't have to worry anymore. You don't have to go into these vibrations of anxiety, of depression, of scarcity. You don't have to grow through that anymore. You can hand it over to your ancestors. Hand it over to them. They're there for you. They are going to take on okay, I'm going to channel. They're channeling. They're coming through, so I'm going to channel them. They're saying you have taken on so much in this lifetime for self. Like, you came in with some really hard lessons through this lifetime, and it was because you were healing through family ancestry. And you've gotten to a point where things have shifted, and because of that, your ancestors have risen. I feel like there were a lot of ancestors that were earthbound, that were stuck in between spaces, and they've now risen up to higher vibrations, and they're saying, now we are here. You helped us through this transition. Oof, if I could speak. You've helped us through this transition, and now we are here to help you through yours. So surrender your worry to them. Whatever you're worrying about, whatever is coming up for you, whatever, like they said, the things like scarcity, depression, anxiety. So if you're thinking too much about the future in the next present moment, you're having some excitement and or anxiety around it. If you're, I'm hearing that most of you, if not all of you that chose this card, are not really in the energy of holding on to the past anymore. You've really freed yourself from the ties that bound you to the past. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to possibly cycle through some things that still need to, that you still need to give love to. And what they're saying is that you've gotten to a space where it's not holding you back anymore. It's like the chains have come off. You've been let go and you're ready to step into that next present moment. And so whatever's coming up for you, whatever you feel like, and I feel like this is really around scarcity, around not having enough, maybe not being enough. And so they're saying surrender that to them. Work with the ancestors. When you call in your angels and guides, your team, call in your ancestors specifically. Ask them to take this worry from you, this worry of not having enough, because your birthright, our birthright, is of abundance. So the closer we get, the more we let go of those chains, the farther away we get from those things and we free ourselves up, the closer we get to God, the closer we get to the higher dimensions. We continue to rise, and as we rise, we come into the okay, they're saying rephrase that the way that I said it. So one moment, please. As we rise, we get closer and closer to the frequency and the vibration of the great central sun, of the divine, of the creator, of source, of this God, I am God presence. And because of that, you are deserving and worthy of everything that you could imagine, and so much more. So surrender whatever it is that you're worrying about in regards to not having enough to your ancestors, so that they can start to help you shift through that. It's time for you to rise, let that energy move through your body. And they're telling me really work with the breath. Work with the breath. When you call in your ancestors, so the exercise they're giving me is like, breathe in safety and security and financial abundance, and breathe out the scarcity. And this is interesting, they're saying fatigue and exhaustion from trying so hard. You don't need to do that anymore. You need to surrender these to the ancestors so they can help you through this. All right, and then we have loving energy, and this is the snake. And the snake is all about rebirth. It's shedding that old skin. It's letting go. It's rising into your next state of evolution. So you are in this space, and again with the heart opening, right? So this first card has like this big open heart. She's freeing herself from everything from the past. And then this card is all green, all love, all of this very grounded, heart opening energy. So you are in a space, your heart is open right now, and it feels so good. It feels so good. I'm so happy for you guys. All right, and the gift that's coming through is a crown chakra upgrade. And they're telling me that when you surrender your worries to your ancestors, when you surrender your worries to a higher power, to your guides that are in these higher dimensions, you open yourself up to be able to draw in more light. And the more light you bring into the body, the more you clear through whatever shadows need to come up, and the higher you rise and get into this unity consciousness with source. And so we're gonna do just a little crown chakra upgrade for you now. So those that are open and ready to receive, we're gonna do just a little quick attunement. through the crown, and they're asking me to bring in some Diksha energy for you. So channeling the energy of Diksha, the enlightenment energy, to activate and open through the my mind is not catching the word right now, my apologies, but activate and open up your mind so that you can grow in consciousness and expand your belief systems. So channeling through this energy of Diksha. Make sure to drink plenty of water. They're telling me stay hydrated. That was a quick yet powerful transmission there. So we'll move on. The Emerald card, yes. And so what brought you into this energy? Again, the green energy. And what brought you into this letting go and this freeing yourself from the past and being in this rebirth energy is learning compassion. And this was a long lesson. They're saying this was a lifetime lesson for you, was really learning compassion. You had a lot of things that you had to grow through in this lifetime to bring you to the space where you are able to hold others in compassion and not force anything upon them and let them be on their journey. That's part of having the compassion. So yes, let's see what else comes through. Communication. And this is communication with spirit. They're saying it's time for you to tap in. You've gone through this big transformation. The crown chakra upgrade is going to help you connect to a higher power. It's going to help you really start to open up to source energy and creating with that. So it's like they're telling, like, they're giving me the energy of like devotional music. Like when you sing and you sing just to sing, it affects your vibration, but not to the extent of when you sing devotional music or when you sing for a higher power. Those frequencies move through your body differently and they help shift you. And so this is aligning you so that you can create through that space. You can have devotion to a higher power when you are creating whatever it is that you are wanting in your life. It's coming from a much higher self and not from your lower self, not from the ego. It's coming from your communication with source and earth. They're telling me the things around you. So you are a mystic. Those of you that chose this card, I'm getting very mystical energy from you. So you are able to tap into different realms, like working with fairies, working with earth energies. So forest bathing is really, really good for you guys. You probably already know that, I'm sure. But getting out and being in nature and connecting with nature. And I'll tell you one thing that came through for myself in the past, I guess through the past moon cycle, was giving back gratitude for the things that are there for us. So Mama Earth does so much in transmuting for the collective and really holding and nourishing us. When you go out into nature, even if you're not a nature person and you go out into nature and spend an hour out there, you're going to feel different. It's going to raise your vibration because Mama Earth is transmuting so much of those lower vibrational energies that we're ready to let go of. So connect with Mother Earth and give back. That's what I was coming to. Give back what I call on my guides and my angels and my highest self, and they always come through for me, and they are always able to connect with me. And also, I've learned recently how much support they really appreciate having in return. So whatever it is that you're working through, even the ancestors, right? Giving them gratitude for coming through and taking your worry, taking those things that you no longer have to process through, as long as you give them up to them. So giving gratitude back. And if you do any kind of energy work, put energy into the earth, put energy into the trees, into the rocks, into whatever it is, the ocean, the mountains, whatever, wherever you're at, put energy back into those spaces, because that is going to be your give and take. When you give to the earth, you are going to get in return that loving energy back. Right? Yes, offering. So exactly what I was just saying, the offering, right? The giving up, like giving back, right? So even if you're not an energy worker, if you don't really dabble in energy work, offering prayer for those that have been there for us. I sat in silence recently with my husband and a dear friend of ours, and we offered love and prayer and energy to Archangel Michael and to Mother Mary for all that they've been helping us with. And within the next week, everything started to shift for us, and it was just that offering to them and them knowing how much we are in gratitude of them. It's like our protection from Archangel Michael came in so much stronger, and our nurturing and love and support from Mother Mary came in stronger and more powerful. So offer up to the things that are helping you move through some of these dense energies, or whatever helped you get into this space of opening your heart. Offer up things to, maybe it's a teacher, maybe it's a guide, maybe it is somebody that you talk to. It's giving them some kind of offering, and it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Even just a thank you is a gesture and offering for them. All right, then we have solar plexus chakra. Yes, your solar plexus is on fire. You are so ready to step into your power, to be authentically you, to not take no for an answer, to really, really step into that space of knowing who you are, and knowing, they're telling me, knowing how to they want me to use a different word than what I was going to use, so I'm asking them what word would be best for this. This doesn't feel right, but like attaining to the fire, right? Like keeping the fire lit, keeping the warmth, keeping the glow, keeping the light that's coming from it, without letting it get out of control, or without letting it die out. There's this sacred space in between that is the balancing where they want you to be. This is what you're coming into. They're just remember, they're saying that the two things that can shift you out of this energy is putting out your fire, and the only person that can put out your fire is you. However, it is you in your reaction to others. It is you in, if someone tells you something, how are you going to react to that? If someone judges you, how are you going to react to that? It really comes back to you being in your light, and then not letting that light get out of control, not going around and blasting people with light when maybe they just need a little more love. Maybe they need you to just sit with them in the darkness, and just to know that you're there, to be in your presence. Coming back to that compassion, right? Like having the open heart and being compassionate for wherever, whoever you're coming into contact with, wherever they are on their journey, is being in that space. And then through all of this comes the collaboration of souls. And the collaboration of souls is unity. It's connecting you with love, with the energy of love. And this can be a new love interest coming into your life. It could be the love of a new tribe, of new tribe members. It could be just the love and joy of having different companionships throughout your life. So yes, this feels really, really good. Congratulations, because I know that opening up your heart and anchoring into the energy of compassion is not easy, and your ancestors now are here to help you along the way. And again, they are so, so grateful for what you have done on your journey, and they are ready for you for what's to come. It feels like it's so exciting. The energy feels so good, and I know that things are going to happen very, very fast. So get ready and enjoy. Have a good one, y'all. We'll see you next time. All right, aloha, friends. This is for those of you that chose card number 3. My mind is at ease. My mind is at ease. Yes. There's this stillness energy that they're bringing through. It's this kind of like I'm seeing this like tornado of energy still just kind of moving and dancing around you, and you're just in this center of calmness, of just watching it dance and play around you and not letting it sweep you up, right? Staying in your light, staying grounded, right? She's very grounded. She's like sitting in the grass here among the flowers and really being present with the hummingbird here. And they're showing like behind her is like this is like the darkness, right? Like there's still things that are going on, and she's so focused and so present that there's no mind to what's happening around her, right? Whatever chaos it is, she knows there's a reason for it, and you're going to be able to process through it, and you don't need to get yourself swept up in it. You don't need to get yourself swept up in it. So stay in this nice, calm, loving energy. And then the next one says, what does your soul say? What does your soul say? Right? Tap into your intuition. Those of you who chose this pile are highly intuitive beings. You're very connected, and for the most part you trust, right? But they're telling you, go deeper now. Start to ask some of those questions that have gone unanswered. So what I like to do is when I have questions, if I write them down, then typically I will get the intuition of what the answer is. And it's different for everybody, but write it down or say it out loud. Bring it into your existence, not just in your thoughts, because in your thoughts you can create so many different things, right? So many parallel platforms or parallel spaces. And so they're saying, bring it out. If you have a question, bring it out into the open. Ask, whatever it is. Am I going to get this job promotion? Am I ready to step into the next, the next best thing for me? And get it out of you. Speak it, write it down, do whatever you need to do to just get it out of your thoughts, and then the answers are going to come through. So, and again, in this stillness, they're saying, be still. Find time for quietness. Find time to tap out, to really just be in your own energy and in the quiet space. Try a silent meditation, they're saying. Put on, like a timer where just start off small. Try 5 minutes of silence. Nothing else. Just silence. 5 minutes. And then, build that up over time. And the more you sit in that silence, the more open you're going to become to that intuition. And the answers are going to come to you much quicker. But you've got to get them out. There's like stressing this importance of getting these questions that you have inside of you, whatever it is that you're wondering about in your life. Is this ever going to happen? Is this, am I this? Am I that? Get those out of your thought space and into your aura, right? Into your, pull them out so that you can actually download the answers from the ether. Let those downloads come through. Adorn the temple. Yeah. It's really getting back into a space of self-love, of seeing yourself the way that the Creator sees you, that there are no wrongs. There are no wrongs, just lessons, right? So I'm feeling like those of you that chose this pile, some of these questions have not been asked out loud or have not been written down because you don't want to know the answers, because you know intuitively that the answers are going to make you feel guilt or shame or resentment. And instead of feeling those feelings, you avoid asking the questions. And they're telling you to get into this space of self-love where no matter what comes up, you're going to love yourself. You're going to nourish and care for yourself. And so, yes, you may have to feel through some of those lower vibrational energies, but the sooner you lean into them, the sooner you surrender to them, the quicker you're going to get through them. So adorn yourself, right? Get yourself into the energy of loving you. Write down, this is an exercise as I'm being channeled right now, this specific exercise. Write down, start making a list, and start off with 3 things that you love about yourself. For some people that's easy. For others it'll be hard. I remember when I first wrote down, a few things that I loved about myself, it was really, really hard for me to even come up with 3 things. So start to do that. And then as you come up with those 3, then come back to it and add another 3 or add 5 more, and let that list grow and grow and grow. And if you can get to a space where you're able to write down 108 things that you love about yourself, your entire life will shift. I'm telling you this from experience, to get into this space where, yes, we're human and we make mistakes, and there are things that we have learned through, because of our free will, and the things that we've learned in this lifetime, or the ways that we try to keep ourselves safe or keep others safe. And they're telling you, you've got to get back into this space of loving who you are. Ask those questions. Ask those hard questions that you don't want the answers to, because they're going to bring up those feelings that need to be felt through. And once you surrender to those feelings, once you lean in, then things will start to rapidly change for you. But it's the not leaning into it. It's the avoiding it. It's the staying away from it that's really keeping you in this in between space. All right, yeah, your third eye is lit. Your third eye is like your pineal gland is active, and it feels good, and you are so connected, and you know this, and this is part of why you're avoiding some of these things, because in in your heart, right? Because the intuition, yes, we decalcify our pineal glands and activate our third eyes so that we can be able to tap deeper into our intuition. However, our intuition is our heart. It is those gut feelings that we feel. It's the things that we feel inside of us. And so if there are things that you're avoiding because you know that there are things that you're going to have to process through, Spirit is telling you it's time. It's time to ask those hard questions so that you can surrender and let go. Your third eye is wide open. You can ask, I can almost bet that those of you who chose this pile, can ask a question and the answer comes to you just like that. Like, you are so tapped in. So stop avoiding the things that are holding you back, right? Stop avoiding them so you can move up, so you can be empowered. Yes. This energy of the red and the orange, it's very tied into the sacral space. And the sacral space, they're telling me, is what is off. It's what keeps going in and out of alignment right now, because Spirit wants you to create. They want you to flourish. Your higher self wants you to be you. Finally, I'm hearing finally. Live for you. I feel like those of you who chose this pile, you have spent a lot of your lifetime living and or doing things for other people. And they're saying it's time to do for you. It's time to put love back into yourself. It's time for you to step into your power, for you to create, for you to be in a space where you let the things go that need to come up so that you can move into your next evolution, your soul's evolution. You can rise. You're in this in between right now, and your guides really want you to not just be in this place of ease, right? Because it's nice to be at a place of peace where, yes, there's chaos going on around you and you're able to tap out and be in your own energy. However, to take that next step, it's not just being at peace and being in your own energy. It's being able to create. It's being able to express yourself freely. And that's what they're wanting to bring through to you here. Yeah, surrender to what is. It's a heart opening. It's opening up. It's stop fighting the situations that are coming up for you. Allow yourself to bring in this light. They're showing me just this light here and how her heart is opening up to it. She's ready to let go. I feel like this is a person that's just so ready to let go of the past, ready to move into that next level. So what's stopping you? What's stopping you? Ask yourself that. What's stopping me from moving forward? What's stopping me from changing? What's stopping me from evolving into my highest and best self? What's stopping me from having everything that I want and deserve in this lifetime? Ask yourself these questions, and it is going to take you into some shadow work. And when you surrender to that shadow, when you surrender to those feelings of, yeah, I've made mistakes in my past, or I did things from a lower level of consciousness, there are things that I would have done differently, if there's so many what ifs, right? And they're saying just go into that and give yourself love in those spaces so that you can move through this evolution into your next highest self. Yeah, it's quieting the mind, right? You see, her eyes are closed. All of this is going on. It's like, I feel like this pile, what the next step is. You know what's coming for you. Like, your third eye is so open. You already see your evolution all laid out for you. And yet you're choosing to stay behind this gate because you don't want to grow through some of this shadow work. You don't want to have to face some of these things like resentment or shame or guilt or pride or these vibrations that don't feel so good, sadness. And they're wanting you to grow through this so that this peace up here, this joy, like this whole forest here, that you can actually live that life, not just watch the chaos happen around you and be able to calm your mind and be in a good space, but not have any chaos around you, not have any drama around you, not have to even bother with tapping out of what's going on around you so that you can find your peace, but actually being in your peace. All right, so those of you who chose this pile, you really are clearing from the past. There are things that are ready to be let go of. You're ready for your next evolution. And to do this, again, you've got to go into that shadow. So how do you find out what's in your shadow, what's lying there? Because sometimes we don't know, right? We just know, like, oh, sometimes I get these feelings of anger or anxiety or resentment, or there are things that I don't like talking about because they make me feel sad. And those are typically the thing that's the shadow self. That's the lower vibrational self. That's the parts of us that we didn't feel through fully. I had a client a couple years back who, when we were discussing things, I had given her the analogy of, it's like when you're a child and you're on the playground and you get pushed down and everyone laughs at you and you cry, and then that makes it worse, and now you're being pushed down every day by a bully, and instead of crying, even though it hurts, even though you're embarrassed, even though you have all these feelings that come up, you now swallow those feelings down so that it doesn't get worse, so that you can get through the day, so that you can continue, or hurry up and do what you got to do and get home. And then by the time you get home, you don't really remember anything that happened because you've numbed yourself out for the rest of the day, or you're just so excited to be home that you're tapped out completely from the energy of the bully. And those little things that, maybe were not so little, but maybe they happen only a couple times in your life, they actually are, they're energies that you've never processed through, that you've never worked through, that you've never felt through. And when I told my client this, she burst into tears. And the energy that she had was like, I actually was picked on when I was young. And it was like, that's what needed to come through. All of those tears that were backed up inside of her because she never fully had the chance to express herself, right? So go back, like the Akashic Records is coming up, which is your, basically like your destiny, what you're destined for in this lifetime. And they're telling me specific, this is galactic Akashic. So it's not just in Earth life, it's possibly in other realms as well. And these are there are things in the records that are coming up that you're ready to unwrite. You're ready to rewrite the story, right? So, this reminds me of when I rewrote a traumatic situation that happened to me in my childhood. And, it was something as simple as going back and, instead of having a parental figure that ignored me, I actually envisioned them doing what I needed them to do for me at that time, which was nurturing. I just needed to be held. I needed to be loved. I was, fairly young, and I just needed someone that, maybe I did make a mistake. Maybe I did do something wrong, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to do things wrong. That's how we learn. And I just needed someone to hold me in that space so that I could actually learn from it. And so I had to re-envision my parents. Instead of scolding me or getting on to me about something, I had to re-envision them actually just loving me through it and nurturing me and helping me grow and also teaching me right from wrong, right? Not because I'm in fear of them, not because I'm in fear of getting grounded or getting punished or whatever it is, but because I understand what happened and how I can shift it. So this is coming up so that you can go back through this. It's like a final surrender. What do you got to go into and let go of so that you can step into this new life? Yeah, transformation. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for you. You've gotten so good. They're telling me you've gotten so good at being in this peaceful energy of not reacting, of not letting lower vibrational energy shift you. You've actually gotten really good at that. And you're ready for transformation. You're ready for that next step. So stop holding yourself back. Give yourself some love. You're very connected. Tap into that connection and use it to your benefit. What does your soul say? What do you need to tap into so that you can move forward into your next present moment? Right? Thank you. We'll see you guys next time. Aloha, those of you that chose pile number 1. Pile number 1, you chose I get plenty of rest. I get plenty of rest. Yes, this feels like, rest is not easy. Rest is something, and the reason, they want me to say the reason rest is not typically easy for most people is because we've been conditioned to believe that we need to go, that things need to get done. They need to be in order. We need to have this, and that. We've been in this like hustle mentality for so many generations. And now the energy of rest, it really takes effort to allow ourselves to get into that space and just rest, right? Not do anything and not feel guilty while not doing anything. Knowing that it's okay to rest. It's okay to take that downtime. It's okay to, leave the dishes in the sink for the night or whatever it may be. Like there are things that you can shift, like, and slow down and allow yourself to rest. And I feel like those of you that chose this pile, I feel 2 things. I feel like, 1, half of you have gotten into this energy where you are allowing yourself to rest. You've been in this space where you're like, okay, I get it. I understand that when I rest, I'm more, I can do better things, right? Like after you rest, you'll have more energy. You'll want to do those dishes instead of, feeling like, it's something I have to do, right? Like you'll actually have the energy of wanting to get things done. So for half of you, a little more than half, they're telling me, you've already tapped into this and you're feeling great. The rest of you, this is an affirmation that you need to be using daily. I get plenty of rest. Call it in. You've got to start embodying this. You've got to start letting yourself rest. And the more you let yourself rest, the more productive you're going to be. All right, let's see what else we got for pile number 1. We have the spirit quartz. Wow, look at that beautiful. I don't know if you can even see how beautiful it is. The spirit quartz. Super connected with the divine. It is crown chakra energy and music. Yeah, music is very healing for you. So tap into music more. Your guides are saying that when you're listening to music, when you're dancing, when you're moving, when you're singing, when you're creating, whatever you do with music, that it shifts you. It helps you let go of stagnant energies, and it really moves through you. So play with music more, whether that's creating music. I don't know if you're a musician or okay, they're saying those of you that are musicians or singers, that you're channeling light through those vibrations. So they're really wanting you to do more of it. Actually, dance too. Thank you. So dance, singing, creating music. In those spaces, you are channeling light language. There is light that's coming through that is shifting people. And we know this because when you listen to certain songs, there are certain songs that come on that feel very melancholy. There are songs that I remember times where I would, be sad and just want to sit in that sadness, and there was music that helped me sit in it, right? Or there are times where I want to shift into joy and happiness, and there's music that opens me up to that, or playfulness. Music is such a powerful tool, and they're saying especially for those of you that chose this pile. So really start playing with music more. It's going to open you up. It's going to open up so many opportunities and gateways for you. Yeah, this is the alignment. They're saying this is the alignment. This is what needed to come together for you to be where you are shifting into. So again, this is like a half and half reading. They're telling me some of you have finally come into this alignment. Everything is aligned, it's matched up, and you are stepping through this portal into a whole new you. Right? This new moon is like bringing so much light and joy and playfulness into your life, and you are stepping into an entirely new version of yourself. And for the other half of you, these are the things that still need to line up for you to step through this portal. So if you're wondering, why is this taking so long? I feel like I've been waiting a long time, or when are things going to shift? No, it's because all of these triangles have to come together in this space to create this portal for you to go through. So it's like, the triangles obviously is just the example, and they're showing me like so many things had to come into alignment for you to step into this next version of yourself, because this is a soul shift. This is really who you were before this new moon is not at all going to be who you are after. This is a complete change for you. And so even those of you who are still waiting for this to align, right, that are still coming into this, you're so close. They're telling me you're so close. There are just a few last little things that need to come into alignment for you. So you're going to know if that's you. You're going to know if you are already stepping through the portal with this new moon, or if you are like on the tip of coming into that alignment. Yes, birthing the new. Wow, what a beautiful card. I don't think I've ever even seen this card before. Yeah, it's it's a whole new creation, a whole new you. It's, again, moving through this portal into a higher dimension of self and being able to really step into your creator energy, to be able to create whatever you want in this lifetime. That's why this shift, that's why this alignment had to come together. That's why there's so many things that had to come together for you to go through this portal, because you are birthing a whole new you. And from that space, in this new you are going to be able to bring into fruition whatever it is that you would like, right? Whatever brings you joy, whatever brings you love, whatever brings you play and happiness and bliss, you're going to be able to birth all of that in this new energy. So yes, this is a soul shift. This is a big change for you. That's why it requires so much rest. That's why it requires you to really tap out of everything else and tap into self and allow yourself to just be held for a change. Allow yourself to be held. Allow yourself to be nurtured by the universe, right? Orion activation. I love this. I love this. You have already been rebirthed. You're in this renewal process. And recently, I did a QHHT session with my husband, and I asked what languages I've been channeling light through. And the very first one, without a doubt, was Orion. I have been channeling Orion light language. And there are a few others that were really awesome and interesting, and I will share those at a later time. But because I am now channeling this energy, I'm going to go ahead and do this activation for you, and we're going to open you up to this this creator energy, right? This like stepping it, like again with the portal, like stepping into this space of the world is yours. You are free to create whatever you want. Everything that you've done in this lifetime, everything that you've grown through, everything that you've had to process through in this lifetime has led you to this exact moment, and you are ready to step through that gate. So we're going to do a little activation because they're here and they want to come through. Yana kinishti kanana yana tutus namana kanat titiki yanane yana kishti yana foto manana ketisis nanana yara katasana pututu manana ketisi yanana yanate yara fatitu sumanana kaniti yanane yana yara tisu mana fakanane tikini yanane taya yara patu manana ketisi yanane yana foto minutu manana kani yara kashna ngani yate yana foto manana kiniti singana yana kanta ya puno mana kanitihi yata kesena yana na futu manana yenke yara kishtin kanana futu manana yana kitin yana stikini yana na tata yamana yara kefu manana kitisini yana na tikisina na ka futu manana kitin yana ne. Take a nice deep breath in. Release, relax. Yes, so much joy coming in. So much joy. It's time for you to be in this energy of this receptive energy, right? 13, I don't know if that means anything to you, but this is 2 13s that have 1313. I think I did a reading recently that 1313 came out. Yeah, interesting. So maybe that's your number, or it's a number that's been popping up for you lately. But you have finally, they're telling me, so again, half and half, they're telling me half of you have already stepped into this, like you are fully ready to receive, you are open, you have spread your wings, your heart is open, and you're like, okay, I'm ready, let's do this. And then the other half is just on the verge. It's like the cocoon is, the wings have grown, and you are blossoming, and you are ready to, like, at first they showed me wings, and now they're showing me like a bud sprouting from the soil. And so you're ready to step into this. Go back, for those of you who haven't fully opened up to receiving, who aren't fully in this alignment yet, go back and listen to this Orion activation a few times and really take it in, breathe it in, and let it move through your body. The frequencies that are channeled through light language will really help shift you into that space of opening up, so that you can come into co-creation and open yourself up. And also, back to music, they're saying you can also use music. So okay, can you give me a specific, what can they look for when they're looking for music to open up and move through this? I receive. They're just saying I receive. So maybe type into a search engine, I receive music, and see what comes up for you. It's going to be different for everybody. All right. Yeah. Surrender to the magic of who you are. Yeah. You are a light being. You are, I'm hearing ascended master. You are someone who is so powerful and who has this very unique energy of, like, you know, I'm getting the energy of, like, people just love being around you. You don't even have to do anything. Just being there and being in your presence helps shift people. I feel like those of you who chose this pile are probably in, like, the I think it's the second wave of light workers that came through. Dolores Cannon talks about it in the 3 waves. And she talks about how that second wave just came to be. Just be who you are. Maybe it's the 3rd wave. Let's see if I can get an answer from them. Is it the 2nd wave of light workers? No, it's the 3rd wave. Okay, yeah, the 3rd wave of light workers. My apologies. Where you just came to be. You don't have to necessarily do anything. You just be yourself. Be in your magic. Stand in your power. And they're the first card that they want me to actually read this for. So I'm going to read this. It says, we all have magic in us. Even in the mundane aspects of life, remember that you are a magical being with uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. Yeah. Just be you. Be you in your authenticity and shine in that. And so many good things are coming to you. I feel this. Unconditional love. Yes. Yeah. It's the nurturing, the birthing, the being. I see this. I know this is like a child and a mother, but I see this as like you holding yourself. You really tapping into your self-love. And that's what's gotten you through all of this. Take a moment, they're saying, take a moment to go back through your journey and what brought you here. What got you to this moment of, you know, getting into alignment and allowing yourself to rest and being open to receive, so that you could birth an entirely new you. And then the last card we have here is bliss. And it says, bliss is worth creating. Bliss is worth creating. So you are so worth it. You are, the energy that they're giving me is like, it's this powerful, magical, mystical being, and you carry this energy in you, and that's why just being in your energy will shift the vibration of others. It also means that you're probably a highly sensitive person. You're probably somebody who picks up on things on feelings and emotions that others don't. And so, you're coming into this, thank you. Part of this shift, they're telling me, they stopped me. Part of this shift into birthing an entirely new you is shifting out of this space where you need to even protect yourself. Yes, you are highly sensitive, and you are going to be in such a high vibration that no one is going to be able to affect that. No form of black magic, of bad mouthing, of anything is going to affect you once you step into this new you. It's like, I just see these like golden shields around you without even trying. You are so protected, and your ancestors are here creating that shield around you and helping you rise into that next level of self. So, wow. Wow. I see why they wanted me to do your pile last. This is amazing. So much love for what is coming through for you, and thank you for joining me today. We'll see you next time. Adios.